All right, so let's try something new. Man, this is like my ninth time doing this. Okay, so I want to show you my plan on how I want to go from this, which was taken 2 days ago, January 8th, to back to this by around March 9th. So a little context, I have a beach Mexico vacation coming up on March 9th, so I have a little bit over 8 weeks to get ready for this. And I, like many other fitness professionals, am extremely insecure and vain, and if I see anyone look better than me, I'm going to cry and go in my room for the rest of the vacation. Joking, kinda, maybe. But all jokes aside, I just want to share kind of my strategy that I'm going to be putting in place to essentially get ready. Now, a little disclaimer here. I just want for you all to know that this is not the way. This is just a way. There's so many different, strategies and different things that we can do to, cut body fat, put ourselves in a deficit. So this is just the one I'm going to do for, today, for this time, for this bout or whatever. I have done a lot of different ones. And there's no perfect one. The perfect one is the one that works well for you, that you enjoy, that you find, remotely sustainable, et cetera, et cetera. So let's kind of get into it. And I'm going to break this up into 4 phases. So it's going to be 4 phases of 2 weeks, which will amount to about 8 weeks. So in this particular video, I'm just going to explain phase 1, which I'm going to label clean up the bullshit. And another thing too is I'm going to do this, or the goal is to do this without meticulously tracking, without using the food scale and things like that too. Because I know a lot of you out there, you don't love doing it. So I just want to share what, again, I'm going to do and the strategies I'm going to put in place to drop a good amount of body fat without having to meticulously track everything. All right. So phase 1, 2 weeks goal, 2 to 4 pounds or so of body weight. The goal is body fat. I think we all know when you first jump on a diet, you're going to see a big jump. So it's going to be somewhere in that range. But I'm going to label this one cleaning up the bullshit. And my goal with this phase specifically is to not really affect my satiety level, so my fullness and things like that, because I'm just going to do small changes that won't change much of the volume that I'm eating, but it's going to have a pretty big impact on the calories that I'm eating. So let's start off. So first one is going to be just removing unnecessary nighttime snacking. And then also, if I need to replace it, I also have a creamy, so that's a good way to replace it. So when I finished my bulk a couple days ago, at night, I was just pretty much eating whatever the fuck I wanted. And this was accompanied with generally a little bit of this, which I've also cut out. So let's call it nighttime munchy snacking. Whatever I can get my hands on. Candy, chips, ice cream. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm eating it, okay? So that's going to be number 1. And just from that alone, not super proud of this, but some of the nights it can get really, really out of hand and probably get close to 700-800 calories or even more, which is insane to say. So just from that is going to have a pretty profound impact on my overall caloric intake for the day, for the week, for the month. So that is number 1, removing nighttime snacking. Number 2, so my general breakfast right now, and I might do another video on this of kind of what I eat in a day, has been some sort of kind of breakfast sandwich. And on that sandwich, I was adding unnecessary things, heavy sauces, butters, stuff like that, like the bitchin' sauce. Sometimes it would be some kind of hummus spread, stuff like that. So I'm going to be cutting that off, and I'm going to stick with mainly like hot sauces, salsas, and then a lower calorie alternative for butter if I even want it. Again, the goal here is not messing with the satiation. The bitchin' sauce or things like that, like cool, it's good, but I don't need it. I don't feel like I'm really losing out on this. And this is an individual thing. Some people say, no, the sandwich tastes like shit if I don't eat it. For me personally, again, when I'm in my surplus phase, I'll add these things in because I can afford it and because sometimes I want it depending on how active I am. But during the deficit, I don't miss it too much. So that's what I'm dropping. Again, that could be 150 calories a day from just that. So you'll see it adds up really, really quickly. And then number 3 is going to be cutting out the PB&J I was eating. So again, at the tail end of my bulk, I was adding in almost every single day an additional peanut butter and jelly sandwich with chips on the side and usually a glass of milk. Another thing right there. Generally, I wasn't like force feeding it, but I didn't need it. I was pretty much saying like, hey, I'm not super hungry, but let's add it in because I can use the extra calories. So that is going to be another one that I cut off. And just those three things right there, that is probably over 1,000 calories. It's quite a lot. Another thing, so number 4 is going to be, I was adding a good chunk of honey in my post-workout smoothie. So right now I have a smoothie after my workout, which is generally, or what it was 2% milk, a shit ton of fruits, honey, and then it would usually be 2 scoops of protein, and I'll throw some creatine in. So from that, I am going to be eliminating the honey And then I'm also going to be swapping, I already did the 2% milk to like a lower calorie milk alternative, not almond milk yet. That's going to be in the next phase. So there's this Carb Master skim milk that's pretty low in calories and high in protein. So I swapped that out. I've actually bought that yesterday. So that's going to be another change. And again, that one's not a huge amount of calorie difference, but again, these things add up, and that does not change how it tastes. It doesn't change any of the flavor profile, doesn't change the satiation level, nothing like that. Okay, so very, very small change, but it adds up. Another thing, small thing, swapping from, I was using just a normal vanilla creamer, full sugar, full fat. I swapped that out for a sugar-free creamer. This one is not that big, but again, can save me 50 calories in the morning. And again, doesn't mess with satiation levels. I don't really notice a difference at all. It's generally maybe a little bit more expensive, so maybe I'll fill it from my wallet. But other than that, it doesn't really taste any different to me. So cool. And then from there, that's pretty much the main diet changes for me, the main nutrition intake changes. But as you can see, boom, 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 boom. That's easily, I would say, 700 plus calories per day. And I think we all know generally a daily minus 1,000 deficit is going to be putting us at around 2 pounds a week. So I would estimate this at minusing, again, on the low end, maybe 400 or 500 calories a day. On the high end, over 1,000 calories, maybe 1,200 calories a day without messing with hunger levels at all, okay, which is huge, huge. All right, and then from the activity side, this is not going to change much. Right now, my routine is around 4 to 5 resistance training days a week. And this just depends what my week looks like. So I'm usually following a Monday, Tuesday, upper, lower, Wednesday, off, Thursday, Friday, upper, lower. So that's if I have things going on the weekend. If I don't, then I usually like doing an upper, lower, off, and then actually a push-pull legs. So it's going to be one of those two. So 4 to 5 resistance training days, but that's how it's been for the last months, years. So that's not really changing at all in terms of the caloric output. The only other thing I'm adding in is I'm actually doing 60 minutes on this guy, the bike, indoor cycling a week. But that's less for increasing my caloric output and more so because I'm actually doing like an 80-mile crazy climb hill ride this summer out here in Colorado. So it's more of just slowly introducing the cycling so I can start, just getting better performance-wise at the cycling. But that's it. So that is going to be phase 1, clean up the bullshit for the first 2 weeks. Stay put, check in on my videos because I will be going over phase 2 within the next couple days or weeks. And yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you.